Cheers. Hello.
We made it back a couple days late.
Just a week late. It's fine.
Well, no, it's not a week. Halloween came and went. As you know, we just left you on this fine podcast, and we said we'd come back the next day. It's been about 4 days.
Yeah.
But we did work, and I know I probably just told you, but bear with me because I don't remember what I just told you.
What did we just say on this episode?
Yeah, exactly. We have no idea. But we left, and then we had 3 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. shifts. You know, the weekend is like a really fun, exciting blur for me.
You know, I love, I agree with you so much, and I love, a Friday, Saturday, kind of a crazy Sunday.
Yeah.
But this was, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah,
which
I
is
left
essentially
the
a week.
club at noon on Sunday.
Yeah.
The DJs came back on. We, underground hung out, all weekend.
And I really hate how, now that we've kind of gotten into, the nightclub space, people are acting like 5 a.m. is early.
No, if you go home at 5, 6 a.m., it's you didn't even make it to the afters. I'm like, I'm sorry, you absolute psychopaths.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry I value what happens the next day.
I literally value my sleep. I value my life. As I say that, I have someone, Nick went home at 8 a.m.
I went home at 8 a.m. I went to bed at 10, but, once I got home and went to bed, I stayed home and just...
Yeah, no, I came home for a little bit, obviously to walk my dog, feed her, hang out with her for an hour or two. And then I went back to the club at 10 a.m.
Not me. I said, that's a bad idea. And look what happened. You woke up sick.
I know, I'm ill again.
Imagine that.
Every single time I burn the candle at both ends, I get sick.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, you have a strong immune system. Mm-hmm. My celiac ass over here does not.
No, I'm so happy that the Halloween...
the holidays, whatever that marathon was.
It was rougher than any holiday I've ever experienced in my life. It lasted for 3 weeks.
No, I know. Actually, one of our friends, Christina, she was doing artist relations at Zodiac. So that Saturday, so this past Saturday, she dressed up, but she was the only one because we were all over it. We were all 8 costumes deep. Yeah. She was dressed as a flight attendant, and she goes, I'm the only one dressed up here, and I want to myself. I was like, yeah, loser. She looked like a sexy flight attendant, so it was cute, but it was kind of I was like, girl, I woke up and I had a Britney Spears costume. Yeah, and I was like, there is absolutely no chance you could pay me.
No way. Although I will say with that is we had just talked about on our podcast where we were talking about how what is a costume, what's not, you know? And so she was like, yeah, I'm so glad. She said the same thing to me. She was like, yeah, I'm so glad I dressed up. And I wanted to be like, well, Christina, when we all get ready to go out of our houses, we're all kind of wearing a costume, right? But I didn't say that. I was like, Nick, just shut up. Just
stop trying to get meta.
No. But I will say though, on Friday, I wore a lot of eyeliner and did a smoky eye. Then Saturday night, I went into the shower and tried to scrub it all off. I got out of the shower and misted my mirror, defogged my mirror. And there's still so much eyeliner all over my eyes. So then Saturday, I just went out with a whole bunch of eyeliner. He just did more eyeliner. All right, let's turn this in. It'll flake off eventually. But
because Nick has never done the waterline. I had to teach him how to do the inside of his eye for the smoky eye. And I did tell him that it doesn't come off with you need to a Q-tip and you need special makeup remover for that.
It's off now. It just kind of came off.
Yeah, it'll do that.
Well, I don't know how. So. Anyway,
it's election day.
Now for the next holiday, Civil War.
Yeah, Nick and I basically decided today should be a federal holiday. I can't believe it's not.
Right.
But we went and voted, and then we just went and got wine, and now we're finishing the podcast. So today's a productive day for us. It's voting and podcasts, obviously insanely productive.
Absolutely.
But for the most part, we've just drunk wine and walked around all day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't really do anything. We didn't really cause change. We didn't besides the podcast, it's I will say though, this is kind of how I feel. I did vote everyone, but I think doing a podcast is doing more of a service for myself than voting. Yeah. Because I just don't always believe that voting is gonna be.
I don't think it's gonna make the biggest difference, but I do think it's important right now if we're in a constitutional republic to exercise our voice.
But I will say you don't lose anything by voting. I think that's a caveat. Is like, if you don't think voting matters, sure.
Yeah, but it's
But
not.
you're not going to lose anything.
I
from
got you.
voting, you know? So anyway, we actually have a story to tell you guys that we have waited to tell you for a while now.
I know it's been so many stupid funny things like happened over the weekend, but they weren't as funny as these two stories that we've been like waiting to tell you.
This one, like, we didn't even know if we wanted to say this on the podcast, but we always say we're gonna tell.
We said we were gonna be more honest with people these days.
Yeah. I mean, this one, this one's a goodie. This one's a goodie.
And people are probably like, "What's more honest in your pants?" Well, let me tell you.
Let me tell you.
Hold my beer.
Yeah. Hold my beer.
Hold my tequila.
Hey, Donald, Kamala, like, shh, I have a story to tell.
Which I had to make sure I told my parents this story first because I was like, they can't like hear this for the first time on the podcast and then like try to put me into rehab.
Literally.
So I had to break it to them first. That was like the only barrier to us telling it because like, you know, at this point, like, we're not getting real jobs ever again.
Oh, no. I I was actually thinking about this.
Might as well get a neck tattoo.
That was what I was going to say. I said, this podcast is worse than a neck tattoo. I just want to let you know
Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah.
Sometimes we're on a little bit too much of a wavelength.
No, but like, I think I said that before.
No, I haven't.
No, so like, I literally think that divulging some of the things we have publicly online is much worse than getting a face tattoo.
I mean, at this point, like what we've divulged publicly online, we couldn't even be on a reality show. Like ABC, I don't think would hire us. Remember when you were almost on Bear Grylls for Discovery?
Oh, yeah.
There was like a meme that we had that referenced mushrooms, and they said you'd have to take that down to be eligible to be on the podcast.
Yeah, because I guess mushrooms are illegal or something.
Yeah, like technically, I got
maybe like not where I am.
I did mushrooms at work this weekend.
They're legal in Denver.
Sort of. They're decriminalized. Mm-hmm. There was like a couple times where people were ordering drinks, and they were like, "Can I get a vodka soda?" And I was like, "Can you?"
I literally would have just like thrown the drink in your face at that. No.
I know. I was just so giggly.
No, I know.
I mean, I was having a good time. I was flirty. I was absolutely doing my job. But like the amount of people who hand us drugs while we're working.
Like especially mushrooms. We mean mushrooms. But yeah.
It's like.
I took some mushrooms while at work. And I just want to let you know, like I was working coat check. And I don't think the coat check happened. Okay, it was a bit of a sinking ship.
Oh,
I felt like I don't really know who was running it, but there was a lot of people.
Nick, you were running it.
I know, but like, you know, I was just getting a little confused.
So if you're looking to hire us,
yeah,
we're available.
But anyway.
No, exactly. Like we at this point, corporate's not an option. So we better just keep getting funnier.
Funnier and more face tats, you know? I actually do want to get some tats. Okay, let's get to the freaking story.
I mean, you start the story because I wasn't around for it.
Okay, I'll tell you. So, do you guys like the band Incubus?
Always been one of my favorite bands since I was in high school. Like, I wore the merch.
Love it. Okay, so one of our friends who we actually reference a lot, she was the one that was getting roadhead while listening to one of our she was giving roadhead while listening to one of our podcasts. Anyway, that girl, she has texted us, was like, "Hey, I have an extra ticket to Incubus if you guys want to go." And I was like,
because her boyfriend does like production for like a lot of very, very famous bands, so he gets the hookup. So he invited us as guests. So we got guest list to this show.
I would say you got invited a free ticket. I ended up buying one just because I wanted to go, and you said you can't go without me.
Why?
Which you said you're not going without me.
Oh, because I was already a little tipsy, and I was like, someone needs to be in charge here.
I was like, I guess I'll be in charge, but I also kind of want to see Incubus. But I was tired, and I didn't want like a full night of like shenanigans. I just kind of was like, oh, whatever, I'll go. I want to see Incubus, but whatever.
Famous last words in this crew.
Famous last words. So we go. It was actually really fun. Like we met up with them and they were all on a good vibe and we started drinking and doing shots. But I will say, Francesca, you started like doing shots.
I know. I do that. Sometimes I do this thing.
And I was just kind of like, whoa.
I hadn't eaten all day.
Hold your horses, you know?
I am on, I think I've told this on the podcast that I'm on antidepressants now.
Oh, I think so. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I recently started taking like the lowest dose that exists of Lexapro, but I'm not really supposed to like drink on it. Like I can have a couple drinks and be okay. But once I get past 3 drinks, I become a liability and it makes me not hungry, which is like a problem.
I think that right there is the biggest
Yeah,
issue.
I
Like,
just haven't been eating.
Yeah. Anyway, we meet like some of the bartenders. We're having like a ball at the ball arena. Okay. Like we're just having a full ball. Concert's really great. And as I walked past the merch booth, I said to Francesca, I was like, oh, I really want to get a t-shirt. And you were like, oh my God, we should. But I also hate waiting in lines at the
We don't wait. Piazzas don't wait in lines.
And like, I don't want to like leave the concert then to go wait in line. Like, no, I just didn't really feel like doing it. So that's why I never get a t-shirt in the merch line. And so concert's going on. The concert was great, blah, 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 blah. And Francesca, you decided that you were going to get backstage.
Oh God.
You know, and I know that vibe when you're on it. And you go, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to go get backstage. And you just kind of like left and that's all you said. And our friend was like, hey, what'd she say? And I was like, okay, here's the thing about Francesca. Like sometimes she gets a couple shots in her and she's going to go try to get backstage.
I always am successful.
I know. That's
I've
why I was
never
like,
not been before. So this is interesting.
I kind of thought to myself, like, you know what? Like she might not get backstage, but she might get backstage. So just like, go see what happens. What I think happened, well, you come back about like 15 minutes later. You come back a little bit way
Drunker
more
than when I
drunk.
left. Okay.
I think
tipsier.
Tipsier.
A lady's
Yeah,
never
yeah.
drunk.
Mm-hmm. And I will say, so you come back like a little bit more tipsy, and you're holding a Incubus t-shirt for me.
Oh wow! Look at how thoughtful I am.
So you didn't make it backstage, but you did get me an Incubus t-shirt, and I also think that you went and took like a shit ton of shots too, like somehow, you know.
No, I think we became friends with. I'm not gonna say her name. I think we became friends with the bartenders there, and I think she just kept giving them to me. And sometimes like it's also hard for me to turn down free things.
Yeah, totally. I always feel that, like free shots.
She was getting off, and I distinctly remember her asking me if I wanted a couple doubles because she had just gotten off, and I know I didn't pay for them. And I think that was the nail in the coffin.
Not her fault.
I think it sealed the envelope. Absolutely not her fault.
Yeah.
My fault for not having agency over
like,
my own body.
And like it was fine. You just sat down and like started like texting, and like I was like, okay,
that's another thing I do when I get tipsy.
Like she's kind of gone. Like it's fine. So. Concert
big
ends.
Texter.
By the end of the concert,
yeah,
I look over to you and you are completely asleep in the chair. And
a little catnap,
catnap, you know? So then me and our friend, we try to like walk you out, but you wouldn't really like stand. But like you were responsive, you know? Like and so we're like trying to walk you out, like holding you up.
It's also a week after the burn.
Definitely a week after the burn.
I'm still like on the burn. If we were at the burn and I took a cat nap anywhere, no one would care.
Totally.
It's because I was in public at the ball arena.
At the ball arena. And I guess you can't take a little nap at the ball arena, which is crazy. I mean, homeless people are like shooting fentanyl on the street. And the moment I take a little shut-eye, I get arrested.
No, literally.
But anyway. So we're trying to like walk you out, and one of the security guys sees us like holding your body up, and he was like, "Oh, like what are you guys doing?" And we're like, "Oh, we're just trying to get her into an Uber." And he's like, "Okay, well, what if I just went and got her a wheelchair? Let's sit her down on this like little couch right here, and let's get her a wheelchair, and we can put you in the Uber."
That seems fair.
Totally. I was like, "Okay, fine, that works for me." So he does. We come, we get you into the wheelchair, and then he wheels you down. But he sort of tricked us where he wheeled you down into like the medic area.
Yeah, this is where I go to sleep, just FYI.
I'm hospital.
No longer here.
And yeah, Francesca's, I have some hilarious videos that I didn't take, but that our friends took and whatever. But literally, he calls an ambulance on us.
No, the ambulances were already waiting there, I think. Oh,
no. He was like, I was basically, so he tricked us because he was like, I said that like we were just going to wheel her into the Uber. And then we got down there and he was like, you can't take passed out people into an Uber. And I said, you absolutely can. I've done this a lot of times.
This isn't my first rodeo, sir.
Yeah. Her name's Francesca. And this is the first time I've done this. So literally, he was like, no, you absolutely cannot. Like, do you think I have different experiences than you? And I was like, yeah, dude, because you're giving me like CIA agent. Like probably people are freaked out by you being like, I don't know. So they literally wouldn't let you into the Uber. So they call an ambulance and we have to wait there for a long time. And then the ambulance comes and then they put you into the whole ass ambulance.
Because you tried to steal me away from the ambulance, but they wouldn't let you. They were going to detain you.
No, yeah. Like the whole thing was, it was just like it was me, our two friends and you, and they just wouldn't let us leave. So I'm just sitting here. So
because they were threatening, how you told me a story is you were like, listen, this is my sister. We live 2 blocks from here. She's fine. She's just like hasn't slept in weeks. She drank on an empty stomach. She just needs to be home. And they like medically kidnapped me.
That's exactly how it happened. And it was just like, I don't know how like me and three full adults can't like bring you home, you know?
Yeah.
And anyway, they put you into an ambulance and then they shut the door and I try to get in and then they shut the door like right before I can go in. I was like, wait, can I not get in the ambulance? Like that's literally like my blood relative.
Family, yeah.
And then he was like, no, we have to go pick up other patients and then take them to the hospital. I was like, there's going to be other patients in the ambulance?
Like she can't even get her own like ambulance
like,
XL.
How many people are you ambulance XL? Like how many people are you going to put in this? He goes, well, and he like this medic was being such a loser. He like puffs up his shirt, like his chest at me and like looks at me. He goes, welcome to the streets. I was like, dude, we are in Denver, Colorado.
We're a block away from Cherry Creek.
Yeah, I literally laughed in his face. And I didn't mean to laugh. I wasn't trying to be rude. I was like, you're acting like this is the Bronx.
No, exactly.
I was like, we're at an Incubus concert
on a Monday.
Francesca took some shut eye, and now you're involving an entire ambulance, an entire medical team. Now you're gonna have nurses. Now you're puffing up your chest at me when I live right over there.
Welcome to the streets is crazy.
He really thought that he was giving like.
Meanwhile, it's like we've heard from like a lot of people at the ambulance like company in Denver just like is like around all the venues and just waits till they call on drunk people and just like gets money for taking them. Because that ambulance ride was $1,800.
$1,800.
Guess how much the ER stay was? What was that was $4,500.
Dude.
Crazy.
The whole thing was insane.
I was there for 2 hours.
So basically, like, once he says welcome to the streets and then the ambulance got closed and you drive, like, they drive off with you.
A block and a half away.
I literally look at the two friends we were with and I just go, hey, guys, can you just, like, help me comprehend what just happened? I was like, we're 3 sober adults and they just fully took her against our will, her will. And now we have to go find her. And they were like, that's exactly what happened. And like, we weren't drunk at all. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they even asked me, they were like, can you drive? You know? And I was like, I can't drive because I've probably had like 4
legally,
drinks.
You're not going to drive.
Yeah. But like, I mean, even the medics asked me if I could drive. So I was like, no.
You should have been like, can I blow into a thing real quick? Maybe I could.
So then we had to go rescue you. And this is the whole thing. Guys, I want to let you know this was like a heist operation from yours truly, okay? Francesca is somewhere kidnapped in a deep and dark hospital.
I may or may not be restrained.
I don't know. I've never been in this hospital before.
Denver Health.
So I'm like, I don't know where to go, what to do. So I literally go into the hospital and I start asking nurses, start asking around, like, where is my sister? What were you going to say?
That I had to like make friends to be unrestrained to then and you had my phone. So I didn't even have a phone. And then I had to figure out how to call out from a secret phone in a different room to get a hold of you. Thank God I have your number memorized.
I know.
I have your number, mom and dad's number memorized, and my best friend Ashley's, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I had to like call out and get you. And I was like, Nick, I have made a friend.
Meanwhile,
I can't find my clothes, but like I am going to be able to escape right now. And I was like, and then you get a call from me.
I was actually at the bar, like the closest bar to the hospital. I think it's called the Fainting Goat.
The Fainting Goat?
The Fainting Goat.
Wow, what a name.
Yeah.
But you said that like you guys like were just telling the story like a podcast to the entire bar as it happened.
No, literally. We were hooting and hollering at the bar. and just talking about how like you got kidnapped. Like I didn't know that they could just like steal people. Is like kind of how I thought about that. So yeah, Francesca was stolen. I'm in the bar. All of a sudden, I get a phone call. I'm like, it has to be her. And I was like, hello. And you were like, hi, it's me. I'm like, where are you? And so basically, you told me like where you were, and I show up on a Lime scooter because I can't drive. And I was like, okay. I just see you like walking out of the hospital.
I was slinking out of I was hiding behind corners. Like I was fully escaping from a mental hospital.
No, fully like that. And I am on the scooter, and you just come out and you get in the back of the scooter, and we just like, boop, 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 boop,
no,
and,
like I
drive
hold
away.
on to Nick as I'm in my hospital again, flapping in the wind. And I'm like, get me out of here.
And then finally we made it. And you were just like laughing and joking and chit chatting. And I was like,
still a little tipsy.
I was like, Francesca, I've had quite the night. I'm glad that you are.
I just like woke up restrained in the hospital.
It was like Monday at Incubus. And people were like, how was the Incubus concert?
How was Monday?
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, it was fun. It was a good time.
Okay, but wait, we're missing a really important part.
Oh, no.
Is that when I was in the hospital bed, I do not remember this. I was hooked up to like the EKG and I had an IV and I'm pretty sure they had oxygen on. So I'm like, I've got like a lot of tubes
No, they
coming
did
out
have
of me.
oxygen on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I had like a lot of tubes, a lot of hookups, a lot of stickers, a lot of
like
beeping.
in the Matrix. Yeah.
Yes. And I decided this is a really good time to take nude photos.
Which, Francesca, I mean, I can't even process that information.
They were actually really cute.
Have you guys ever gotten hospital nudies? Which is crazy.
When I woke up the next day and people were responding. It's like I didn't just send them to a couple boys. I sent them to like my girlfriends too.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was like artistic. I thought it had never been done before. I thought she's avant-garde. It
is kind of avant-garde, I will say, because it's like, I mean, I think it's hilarious.
Honestly, I want to frame it.
Yeah.
They were tasteful. They weren't like dirty.
Yeah.
They were
just like, I'm in a hospital.
They were artistic.
Yeah.
EKG stickers and all.
Yeah, which, I mean,
sometimes like Mondays just get away from you.
Mondays get away. I haven't had a productive Monday since the hospital incident, okay? Like, oh, really? I don't know. Like, you and I specifically, like a month later, we sneak into Charlie XCX, the ball arena.
Monday.
No, it was this Friday.
Oh, shit.
But, like, I just feel like we are the biggest oppositions to the ball arena.
Oh, yeah. No,
like,
I mean, I've snuck in there like 4 times. Like, honestly, I'm surprised there's not like a photo on the wall. To be honest, our local mall at home, because I got caught stealing when I was like 14, there was like a photo of me like on the wall. Someone took a picture and showed me because I was like a known thief.
Shoplifter. Wow.
That's how I feel like the ball arena. It's like, if you see this woman. Like,
this woman will not only sneak in, she will get taken out in an ambulance. Like, if she comes in like that. I know.
I'm never getting a job again.
No. But I think it's hilarious. But
I am just committed to the comedy, guys. I live this life for you.
And medic, if you're listening, it's not over between you and I.
I know you have beef with him, but that other medic that was Italian, that's our paisan, he's the one who freed me.
Yeah.
So thank you.
After you got taken away in the ambulance, I like said your name. It's like Francesca Piazza. And so like douchebag medic like puts you away and locks you up. And then the other medic, he just looks at me and goes, "Are you guys Italian?" I was like, and I was like, good. And so he's the one that freed you. So thank you to you.
It is. Yeah. Blood is thicker than water.
Blood is thicker than water. Cheers to that, everyone. Man.
I would buy him a nice bottle of wine if I knew who he was. So if
he was
the
a good looking
Italian
guy.
Man, he was very cute.
He was very good
who
looking
freed me from my restraints so that I could take a nude and escape.
He's a paramedic, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like an EMT for the ambulance, but he did help me. I would like to send him a gift.
Man,
Can I have some more wine before this next story?
Yes.
Oh, we have another Monday story.
Oh, it was a Monday, wasn't it? Fuck. You're so right. Francesca, what time do you think it is right now?
7:30.
Really?
Yeah.
It's 4:19 p.m.
4:20, smoke up. Just kidding. We don't smoke.
We don't smoke. It's 4:20.
Nick, like, I'm going to finish recording this podcast and I'm going to get cozy and go to bed.
This time change is criminal.
No, it's... I've never even seen, what's that show, like Squid Games? I've never seen the show, but it's like a show that was on Netflix, right? And it was like different games, and if you lost, you got killed. I don't know. But some was like Squid Games, except your challenges, not mentioning how it gets dark at like 4 p.m. now, or you die. And I was like, so I'm dead.
No, absolutely murdered, slaughtered.
I know. I can't not mention it. It's outrageous. I don't know why I'm flashing the camera and opening a bottle of wine right
fine. Now. Do your thing. No, I'm going to complain about it until it stops.
No, it's absolutely awful. I actually on TikTok yesterday watched an autistic person explain that we shouldn't have time zones.
Yeah, I've actually always thought that. Maybe I am autistic.
No. He was like explaining it in this way, and it very much made sense. He's like, you could still work from like sun up-ish to sunset-ish, but the times would just be different. So that like Germany or like Australia's like daytime work hours, they would be different on the clock as our daytime work hours, but they would just kind of follow like the natural rhythm. But we didn't need to have time zones and daylight saving times. Obviously, throw that out. And him and his friends were all like saying all the opposition to that system. Mm-hmm. And he was giving such legit reasons for it. And I was like, this is why autistic people are so important.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. I welcome mental diversity. But no, the thing is like, how would you know if you have a Zoom call with everyone
1 o'clock everywhere in the world would be 1 o'clock everywhere in the world because there is no time zones. So the Zoom call issue is
right.
solved.
That was dumb.
Yeah. So you just made my point.
Yeah. Okay.
So it might be nighttime for them. It would be hard to know what they're doing in regular life there if you were scheduling a Zoom call because you don't know if 1 p.m. is during sleepy time hours for them. I guess that's kind of what I mean.
Like, yeah, that's exactly what I meant. No, but like
you would kind of have to look up what time working hours are in Australia.
Working hours in Australia, yeah.
Because you're not going to schedule a Zoom for them that's like fucked up. But then again, if they're on the other side of the world, sometimes they are taking Zooms in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Well, I've always thought it's crazy how. What do you mean you're having Christmas in the middle of summer in Australia?
Okay, that
is exactly the same thing because it's
the time zones don't have to do with seasons, Nick.
No, I know, but the seasons are different depending on where you are in the world. Just like the time is different. Because our
winters are opposite. That's not a man-made construct.
No, I know, but it's still crazy that exists, right?
Like, I mean, that's crazy, but that's not something we can solve. Like, I feel like we're having two very different conversations.
No. I'm not saying change the seasons. I'm just saying like
we can't change the seasons. The seasons are Earth. Earth.
I know that, but
Earth put the seasons on.
It's crazy that you can have opposite seasons,
I mean, it's wild.
So I feel like we could, I'm saying, like, if the times were different for you, it would just, okay, anyway. It would just
I don't
be
think
like
I'm autistic enough for this conversation.
It would be like the seasons are separate. Like, oh, what do you guys do during December? In December, we go to the beach. No,
we have Christmas. So I'm arguing for everything happening at the same time. Like, see, no time zone, same time. So we still do Christmas at the same time. They can't celebrate Christmas at another time. That's not what
I'm saying. I'm saying, yeah, but at the same time, in Australia, you might go to work during 1 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's different, Just like in Australia, they do summer at December, where we do summer in, July. So it'd be I
stopped listening. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Podcast. Great guy.
I got over it. Okay, so this is Basque Country, Spanish Rioja, also Tempranillo. It's just like a red wine product of Spain. It's actually really good. It's dry. It's all natural.
Very different. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. Like fully different countries.
Different time zone. Okay. Anyway, let's start this story. Let's fucking fuel this puppy up.
This tastes like +6 if I were to ever taste
Wait,
it.
Hold up. This is closer to the equator for sure.
No, there's someone who has a brain that you could tell when each thing was produced and harvested by the time zone.
100%.
100%. Okay, let's get on with it.
Let's get on with the games. Tip of the hat?
Tip of the hat.
Tip of the hat.
What does that mean?
It's like
a deep cut.
Yeah,
I don't want to know it.
Yeah.
I repeated it like I knew, and then I was like,
no, but I mean that's exactly how you do it. But
anyway, so we have another Monday recently.
I hate that this is an actual Monday.
This is an actual Monday. So Nick and I woke up and we had so much to do that day. First of all, we were on a hike and we said, we're going to go home. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to get our whole life in order. And then we had some good friends text us and say, would you like to take the plane to Aspen for lunch?
Also, if you text me, want to take the plane to Aspen for lunch?
I suddenly have nothing to do.
I have nothing to do that day.
They said, can you be on the tarmac in an hour? First of all, we are not ready. We're in workout clothes. We are a 40 to an hour, 60-minute walk from our house. We started sprinting to make sure we could get ready and get to the tarmac. I said, Aspen? I said, private plane? I'll be there.
I will absolutely be there.
All of a sudden, my emails don't matter.
Yeah, we didn't do anything. I would also like to preface this story. That a lot of our friends are very private, so we don't say who they are, like whatever. But I would also like to say that they were wonderful pilots. They did nothing wrong. This is just like our experience and the weather and how much it scared us. Yeah.
But we are very thankful, and maybe once we get over our fears, we would love to be invited again.
I think this is just a typical thing in Colorado because like small planes, throughout the high altitude, it's like really intense.
Yeah. And we're like so thankful that they did so good and all of their knowledge kept us safe. And it was like a lovely time, and I'm so happy that they had us. But we also had like a funny, scary experience.
Literally.
By none of their own faults.
And also like, so we like power walk. We make it to the tarmac.
Oh yeah.
In an hour and like 7 minutes. They even said that we were
punctual.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, never been called that.
Yeah, Francesca's only ever going to be punctual
for the
if plane. It's a private plane to Aspen, okay?
Literally.
Yeah. How do you motivate her? Private planes to Aspen, yeah.
Take note.
Take note, boys. And also, like, I've actually never been in a private plane before. That was my first time. It's my first experience.
I don't want to admit that it was mine as well.
Oh, was it your actual first time? No, you've been in a helicopter.
I've been in helicopters, but I haven't been in planes.
I've never been in a helicopter. And let me tell you, I will absolutely never, ever, ever be in a helicopter.
No, the helicopters, like, more people die in helicopters than small planes.
100%. Yeah. Francesca, you get motion sick.
Always.
Everywhere we go. I
get motion sick. I'm not even allowed to, I can hardly sit in the back of an Uber and glance at my phone.
Which is crazy.
No, like, I get very motion sick. It's weird that I was a yacht chef. I have to wear, they're called C-bands, SEABANDS. It's an acupressure point, but I can't get on a boat without them, especially cooking, because I will vomit all over anyone. If someone steals my little bands, I'm vomiting. I'm not cooking your meals.
Yeah.
So
I have never been motion sick once in my life. Not in a car, not on a roller coaster, not on the Tower of Terror, not on a submarine. Just kidding. I've never been on a submarine, but I have never been I went deep sea fishing.
Yeah. Oh, that's
as a kid.
crazy.
You know, I got like towards the end of it, I got like a little nauseous. Like not even nauseous. Like
just like
I could tell my stomach didn't feel the best, and that was it.
Okay.
Didn't vomit. Didn't like nothing. I've been snorkeling, like literally, I've been scuba diving, everything. Never once I've made my point. And so like we're like going up, and I actually don't think I've told you this, Francesca, but you were looking at your phone, and you on the way to the tarmac, you said you were getting car sick.
Yeah, because cars like fuck me up.
And I was like, Francesca's gonna vomit in the plane.
Like this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, oh shit, Nick, I need to stop looking. Yeah, I forgot that I said that.
And this was gonna be like, might be a situation.
Yeah, you were really worried about me.
Yeah. And I was just kind of like,
to like
okay,
ruin your day.
Not ruin my day, but like just this might be a situation with you like back there. But in the night before, so Sunday night, I ended up going out all night because I had a friend from college who was visiting, and I went and met her for drinks. Then we ran into like some friends that I knew, and then I ended up having like a whole ass night till like 2 a.m. closing down some bars, kissing on some straight guys, the whole 9 yards. And so I wake up, and I wasn't like hung over, but I had definitely like been out drinking till 2 a.m.
Yeah, Nick doesn't really like get hangovers.
And I like ate Taco Bell late night and everything. So blah 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 blah. We get into the plane, we go up, and it was definitely felt different than I thought it was gonna feel. Like it's bumpy.
It's a little bumpy.
Small planes are bumpy.
But we said before we got on the plane, they're like, hey, here are where the vomit bags are. And you go, Francesca, vomit bags.
Go,
and I was
Francesca,
like, thank you so much.
vomit bags.
And they were like, do either of you get sick? And Nick was like, I never have in my whole life. Francesca gets sick. And they were like, hey, here's what's up. Let us know. Make sure you have your oxygen on, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, okay, ready to go. So we take off. And takeoff was smooth. Takeoff was great. We're strapped in. We know how the oxygen works. We have like the headsets on, so we hear like air traffic control. And so it was like honestly a pretty smooth ride straight to Aspen.
It wasn't that smooth.
Well,
like,
we had some clouds.
There was like
a little turbulence,
and like that's what I didn't really realize, like how much turbulence happens. Like even like on a chill flight, like it's bumpy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, oh, okay, like there's like some downdrafts where all of a sudden you just kind of fall, and like you can kind of have like a
it
falling
feels like
feeling.
negative G's. It's not. It's just like you kind of get thrown down a little bit and your stomach flips a bit. But for some reason, didn't bother me a bit.
Which is crazy.
I don't
not
know
even
why.
want a little
but
bit.
Is that not like so me? Like think of how I can only wear real gold jewelry.
Same.
So it's like, sorry, I can't ride in cars. I can only ride in planes.
Yeah, I know. But
it
like,
sounds so ridiculous.
I just don't even know how it's possible.
I don't either.
And you're also on your phone the whole time, like.
Oh, I was like taking
videotaping.
videos. I honestly, when you started vomiting.
As you can guess by now, guys, who got sick? Not Francesca. It was me. I got sick.
Nick starts throwing up directly into the microphone that's in all of our ears.
Well,
and like when there's a serious situation, all I can do is laugh. Like,
no, totally. And
tell
I don't
me
care.
your grandma died and I am peeing my pants. Like it's fucked up and like I don't know what's wrong with me. But Nick starts like vomiting hardcore. Like he's not doing well. So I am like trying to hide from him that I am crying. I'm laughing so hard for about 45 minutes. Like I can't stop myself. The more I laugh and the more I cry, the more I laugh and cry. And the more Nick makes vomit noises, the more I laugh and cry.
I wish I could have turned off the vomit noises happening, but dude, I literally got so sick for so long. And I've never once vomited in a bag. I've actually been confused on how you do it.
But you've vomited. Nick went through like 9 barf bags.
And I didn't fill all of them up. It was just that like once I closed them and set them on the ground, I was going to like reopen them. But like, yeah, I literally exhausted all of their barf bags, which is insane because it's like, I don't know. And I literally was so sick the entire flight.
I was trying to take like content.
I know, which thank God you did because like I didn't get anything. Fucking
Nick
anything.
was just like, he was also like, he was sweating profusely. You know, when your mouth is watering, you're vomiting, you're sweating, you're claustrophobic. Like,
yeah.
I could see the way his body was reacting. Like, I was worried you were about to start having a seizure. Like, you were dripping sweating. And it's
A
freezing.
seizure?
I don't know, Nick. Your body was like doing something. It did not like it.
Something was happening, which is wild to me because.
So it's hot when you're on the tarmac because we were in Denver and it was hot. But when you get like above the clouds, it's cold. And we're not like in a pressurized thing. That's why you have to wear your oxygen. But then Nick was throwing up into the bag and like throw was coming out of his nose into his oxygen. So we kept taking his oxygen off. And I was like, dude, you're gonna pass out if you don't have oxygen. We are above the fucking clouds.
We were only at 17,000 feet. Dr. Brother said 17,000, not that bad. But I couldn't vomit.
You hiked to 18,000.
Yeah. Like I've literally
but
been.
It's still a little aggressive. You need something.
It can make you sicker, but like I don't think that was the issue.
Well, anyway, we tried to land in Aspen.
Dude, go on. You have a better.
So what's happening is Nick is throwing up. We're going into the Aspen airport. And I guess like Aspen airport is very known to be one of the hardest airports to land in because it's like mountains down, short tarmac, up. And so like if you can't land well, you have to get up and be able to clear those mountains. Actually like through our headphones we're hearing all of air traffic control, a Southwest flight and a United flight had to divert back to Denver.
Big old planes.
Like hardcore. They've been flying for 30 years. They couldn't land because like the winds didn't show up on the radar, but it was like so bad, like we couldn't. So we're going down. Mm-hmm. And like, I know that Nick is like, holy shit, we're about to be on land. We're about to be on land. We're about to be on land.
And I'm thinking to myself, I was like, just get me on land.
And we're about to be there in 30 seconds.
Get me
so
on
we're like
land.
20, 40, 50, 60, 70. I don't know how many feet like off the ground, but we're close. I can see the tarmac like out the windows. But the thing is like, if you don't feel stable, like landing, it's not going to help you once you touch down. That's when you like bump, and like you could roll as like a plane. So, our pilots were like, divert. And they were like, do you want to land elsewhere? And they decided to just go straight back down to Denver because even if we landed in Vail for lunch, they were really worried about you because they were like, Nick is so sick. If we land in Vail and then he feels better and then has to get back on the plane, like he's gonna end up taking the bus home.
No, and I was prepared to take the bus home. I'm like,
I'll see you in Denver in 4 hours.
It cost $12. I was like, it's fine. Like I don't know if I'm gonna get back on that, but I felt bad because I was like vomiting so hard, and then
you did vomit like in the plane.
Yeah. So what happened was I passed out a little bit.
Oh, so that's what happened. So we're about to land, and Nick, from sheer terror, maybe lack of oxygen, I don't know, but so this is what happened. We pull up because he didn't feel safe enough to like land in Aspen.
Yeah.
So he pulled up too quickly. I guess like in this type of plane, if you pull up too quickly, the engine can stall.
Which is normal.
I guess it's normal. Like our dad said it like wasn't that crazy.
Yeah.
But like for us, first time flyers in this type of plane, we're like, he's like, oh no, divert. We're hearing United diverting, Southwest diverting. He pulls up, goes,
like power shuts off.
And our pilot goes, shit.
And I think they were just like focused and like whatever. And like, and the plane's like,
and it felt like a plastic bag in the wind. I didn't know it could feel like that. We were getting thrown around like a little rag doll,
like a
plastic bag in the wind.
I might be dramatic here because but I was also like really sick. So like everything I was experiencing was like amplified by just like, I'm actually dying.
Here's how I know the Lexapro's working. Cool as a cucumber.
Francesca's cool as a cucumber, which is crazy because she like
I can't even drive in the passenger seat.
You can't even handle like a bus.
No, yeah. I always have. I'm like actually kind of worried about whatever the Lexapro is doing to my brain.
Like I've done some crazy shit in my life,
and I was like, En el nombre del Padre y del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo. Amen.
And so I kind of like, it's not that I like passed out. It's like
No, Nick blacked out and dropped his vomit bag. So as this is all happening, the entire cabin starts smelling like vomit. And
I dropped the vomit bag on me and stuff like that.
What a
like
nice little treat to this whole
and they're nice plane. And I am mortified by not only like, was it like a scary experience for me, but like I felt embarrassed, you know? And I was like, oh my gosh, like first time they invited me on the plane, I'm like dropping vomit bags all over it. And honestly, they weren't mad at all. Like they felt bad for me, you know? But like,
no, they're the best hosts.
I don't even
they were
like
lovely.
feel bad about it. Like I'm also down to like go through some like crazy shit, you know?
But this was like this felt like we might die right now. I felt like a little toy plane at the mercy of God. Like I was like praying.
Yeah.
And I trust them and I know they did the best and it was fine. I don't think they were scared because they knew the engine stall, whatever. But from our perspective at that moment, it was like the scariest shit I have like been through in a long time.
I don't know why I thought planes were like super not bumpy.
I didn't know it was like that.
I just thought that like, I thought you got like turbulence on planes.
I thought that like when they said, I don't know if we can clear these mountains, I almost shit myself.
Yeah, because I was like, what do you mean? You know?
What do you mean?
I thought,
What do you mean?
I thought like you're in the sky. Like
Dude,
you can kind of go anywhere
but we were a little too close to ground.
I don't know. I guess like I just was like kind of, I had different expectations.
Yeah.
Of like what
Nick,
happens in a plane.
I had expectations of gallivanting in my floor length, like leather jacket, turtleneck. I had on a skirt in high knee boots. Like I was looking cute as fuck. And I was ready to take so many cute pictures in Aspen.
Yeah.
And instead
we also had a friends waiting there to pick us up.
I know.
I don't know. It was so funny. And so then like once he says like it's traffic control that we go back to Aspen,
go back to Denver.
Go back to Denver. I literally was like, we're
Nick,
not going
Nick knew
back.
that he had another hour or two like back in the turbulence.
It also cost like 45 minutes to like get to from Denver to Aspen in a plane, which is sick. But I was like, oh, we're not even making it. But they also had plans. They had dinner plans in Denver anyway. So like we were just going for lunch anyway. But I was just like, oh, okay. And then like it was like smoother, but I still got sick like once more. And I was like, okay.
Lifestyles of the rich and the famous. They're always complaining. Always complaining.
Like, sorry.
Money
I just
is not your problem.
I just vomited in your airplane. Yeah. Always vomiting. And they were both like our pilots, they were like, yeah, being hungover is like really not good for the plane.
They were like, you can't do that again.
They were like, we didn't know that you were hungover.
Don't get in our plane again if you're hungover.
I was like, oh, they didn't know, you know, and I didn't know to tell them. And I was like, yeah, no. I was like, yeah, no, I got wild last night. But anyway, lesson learned.
Anyway, but I'm taking a plane for my birthday to Bermuda. But it's a jet.
A big jet.
Yeah. Jets have like 2 to 4 engines.
And they're like, apparently big jets go faster and they're heavier. So
Mom and Dad got mad because they said we don't fly in single engine aircrafts.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
I mean,
I
like
don't really
single engine.
I'll come back in the plane anytime.
But no more helicopters for me.
You've never been in a helicopter.
No, I know. But I'm just saying like, doesn't the president like get in a helicopter here and there?
I don't think so.
Really? Is that like...
I think he only gets on Air Force One because you can't have your... No, I think the helicopter is like way too dangerous for a president.
Right.
I mean, like, someone fact check me.
I mean, I after I realized that small planes are this crazy.
No, and they were lovely, and I think it's like fine, but small planes can have issues. That's
They're
like
a little
thing.
scary. And
Jets can have issues too.
I was talking to my friend who flies a lot, and he told me he doesn't like small aircraft.
Yeah, and that's
just
we have friends who are friends with these friends that took us, and they said they get too motion sick, so they don't fly in the plane. They just like meet them like commercially,
which I guess that could be a thing.
And I didn't get that, and now I get it. Like I get
it. I mean, I guess
because private can like be a little upsetting to the tummy,
especially in Aspen. And Aspen, wait, what do they call the Aspen airport? The puke.
Oh, like the puke tunnel, the puke.
There's
like a term. There's a term for the Aspen airport.
I guess a lot of rich people will take a private jet to the Aspen airport.
Everyone does.
They
like
will
everyone
be
knows that in
vomiting
Aspen.
the
It's
entire
mostly
way.
jets. Mostly people get Aspen by jet.
Yeah, but they still get motion sick.
And they're all just vomiting before.
Yeah,
and I thought
yeah.
that was the funniest high society thing that I had learned.
Is
that everyone's vomiting before they show up and take their fancy photo in front of their plane.
It's called, and that's like a very specific thing to Aspen. But it's crazy because it's like, it's the bougiest fucking airport in America.
And everyone's vomiting. And they're pretending like they don't.
Yeah, they're like, oh my God,
So if you take away anything from this podcast, social media is not real.
Social media is not real.
Everything is fake.
You might like, I want to know, there's probably like so many people that have like been like, oh, I get to go to Aspen in my friend's jet. I'm going to wear like all my nicest clothes, all my designer.
They vomit
all over their Christian Dior coats.
Yeah.
Because they were getting lunch now, which is like wild to me. But, and I really hope though that like, whatever this motion sickness is that happened to me, I'm just going to blame it on the hangover.
No, do you know though that when you get older, you get more motion sick?
Yeah,
so, like,
someone's told me that too.
You might be getting motion sick now.
Maybe should I start taking Lexapro? I'm just kidding. Wait, I've heard that
because you don't have any mental illness.
I'm gonna try some things. Maybe some like ginger root, some ginger tea, or some people said
you can
actively
wear the
drinking
C-bands. Yeah. If you're drunk, you don't get motion sick because like the thing in your
inner
brain.
ear is fucked up. Yeah, so you can't get like. So that's also a thing. If you guys are on like a cruise or a small plane and you get motion sick, drink hard liquor.
Just take like 4 shots of tequila, and it fucks up your inner ear.
That's
in a good way.
Because you know you feel wobbly and you
your body isn't mad about the wobbly. If you're sober and you're wobbly and like your inner ear, you'll get that like wavy, you'll not feel good. But if you get drunk, your body accepts it and it's not going to make you throw up. So that's like a weird hack.
Yeah. So anyway,
you're welcome.
Welcome for that.
Saucy Sibz tip number 87: get drunk and see how it works out for you.
Get drunk on your private jet.
Honestly, you guys, we love you so much. I hope you got out and voted today. No, I really just want people to get out and vote. Like fully, truly. We had a lovely experience today. Mm-hmm. I feel like everyone was respectful.
No,
everyone was
everyone
nice.
was great. Yeah.
A couple of people asked me who I was voting for, and I was in like a little bit. No, like yesterday in Breckenridge.
Who?
Girl.
Oh, yeah. That fucking girl was so fucking annoying.
She was weird. And she was like, so who are you voting for? And I was like, that's an aggressive question.
She had just met you. Like, she didn't even ask your name yet.
No. Cheers, guys. We love you. Smile at some people today. Become friends. If you don't have any friends, we'll be your friends. We're all family.
All right.
I love you guys so much. We'll see you soon. Please like, share, subscribe.
Bye-bye.
Bye.